G'day guys, and welcome back to another Makita review. In this one we're looking at the 12 volt and the 18 volt pruning saw. Or if Sarah's still around, is she still around?
Baby chainsaw time!
Yeah, it's baby chainsaw time.
Now a lot of you will have already seen my review on the 12 volt one. If you haven't, it's up in the top corner up here. I did a review of this with the pruning shears, so that is up there and down in the description. As well as that video, there is also one with this Makita 12 volt up against the Milwaukee 12 volt and the Still 12 volt. So which one of those three is the best? Well, if I've already put the video out, it'll be up there and down in the description as well. But I'm not sure which video is going to be out first. But in this video, we are sticking to the two Makitas. So are they the same or are they different? Well, they look pretty similar. I'll give you the model numbers. This is the UC100D 12 volt CXT Makita pruning saw, and this is the DUC101 18 volt LXT pruning saw. Right, I'll take the covers off, take the batteries off, and we'll take a closer look at the two different tools. Now the first difference I'll show you isn't really a difference at all, but this 12 volt one has a solid plastic guard here for your hand, whereas this 18 volt one has a rubber flexible one. Quite different to the other one. Same shape, but made of rubbery stuff rather than plasticky stuff. Now that's not because the 18 volt comes with a rubbery one and the 12 volt with a plastic one. It's because the ones sold in the Japanese market come with this, and the ones in the rest of the world will most likely come with this. So far, the ones I've seen come with this. So why Makita chose to do that, why the regulations are different, why they couldn't have put all of one or the other on them, I don't know. So when you get one, unless you're in Japan, it will most likely have a solid one like that, no matter which one you buy, 12 volt or 18 volt. We'll take a close look at the 12 volt here. We only really need to look at one of them because they are the same. Let's now look at the trigger to activate it. Push down the safety here, pull the trigger. It's got one on both sides, so if you're a southpaw, you're all good. We have a flap on the front here to stop you whacking your hand in there, or if it kicked back at your face, you're protected. It's got a hand mount here because this is a two-handed saw, not a one-handed one. You've got to use it with two hands. Never like this. Watch the other video if you want to know more about that. It's a 4-inch bar. I've measured it. It's about 110 millimeters from the tip of the bar to this point here where it crashes into the tool. So the chain length, you're looking at about 120 millimeters. The chain, interestingly enough, has a self-tensioner. You will have seen it moving there as I'm undoing this because it's pulling itself. But this here, this pin, moves backwards and forwards. Isn't that nifty? Makes it super easy for people who aren't too used to chainsaws to not have to worry about how tight their chain is, because the tool takes care of it for you. You will just need to loosen this every now and again and it will automatically tension, which is, I think, fantastic. Now both the 18 volt and this 12 volt have the same length bar. They haven't made the 18 volt one any bigger. They're both just the 4-inch or around 110, 120 millimeters, so more than 4 inches really. They're both brushless and they both run at 8 meters per second chain speed. They both have an oiler with the fancy little push it down, it pops up the thing, undo it, captive, yada yada. Pretty standard sort of chainsaw-y stuff. So that's pretty much all there is to it. And the 18 volt one, like I say, exactly the same. But is there any difference in cutting? Because this one says 8 meters per second chain speed as well. So are they exactly the same? Will they have the same amount of torque when cutting? Will the 12 volt one cut out before the 18 volt one? Or are these completely identical and you just buy the one for the battery platform you're already on? Well, let's go take a look. So this is a case of two tools that are completely identical but completely different. So they've both got exactly the same features. Weight wise, this one is of course going to be a little bit lighter, so you can save a couple of 100 grams depending on what batteries you're going to use on either one of these tools. But when it comes to power, the 18 volt, as you would expect, is substantially better than the 12 volt. This will stall a lot less than the 12 volt, but if you've only got 12 volt batteries, the 12 volt will get you through. You just need to learn how to use the tool and just cut gently, let the tool do the work, whereas this you can push a bit harder, so you'll get stuff done a bit quicker with the 18 volt. Hopefully one day they will also release an XGT 40 volt version, and maybe they'll bump the chain up just a little bit more. I don't think you need to go as high as 8 inches like Milwaukee have with the M18 one. I think probably a 6-inch one is all you would need on this style of tool in the garden. Once you start getting up to sort of 8 inches and big batteries and stuff, starts getting a bit heavy, you might as well sort of grab a top handle chainsaw. But for people who don't do a lot of work in the garden and just want to prune the old branch, this is a perfect little tool, nice and lightweight, doesn't take up much space, quick to charge the batteries, yada yada. Great little tool. But most of you of course will be on the 18 volt platform, so that's the one to go for, obviously. So they're both good tools, but if you use that one first, then that one would be a bit disappointing. But if you've never used the 18 volt, the 12 volt should feel just fine. If you want to see the 12 volt up against the Stihl and the Milwaukee, then take a look at this video up in the top corner. If it's already there, it might not be, but it'll be around soon. Cheers guys, and I'll see you on another one real soon. Might be another chainsaw video, who knows.